Okay, well, we are excited to have our guest here, Bobby Conner, our dear friend, and we're engaged in a series on reopening the wells that our fathers have dug in the past, and we're focusing on the revivalists that had the major impact in the 20th century. And so we've talked about several of them, and we will talk about several of them, but we have Bobby with us this weekend. And Bobby is a revivalist himself and has a lot of great stories of what God's doing today, as well as a real grasp of some of the fathers and mothers that impacted the 20th century. So Bobby, it's great to have you here.
It's great to be here. We appreciate what God's doing through you guys.
Well, talk to us about what you feel like the Lord is doing today, and where we're at on the unfurling of God's prophetic purposes.
First, I'm so thankful that you're redigging these wells. Joel 2:25, God says, I will restore. We're in a time and a season of God restoring back. And here's what I believe. I believe we ought to have the full man of what they had an embryo of. Now, we esteem and draw from everything that happened in the days past, but boy, it's a bright future for us. I love what it says in Jeremiah 31:17. It says, your future is filled with bright hope. And we're going to be living out Isaiah 60, verse 1, where it says, arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. It says, deep, dense darkness will cover the nations, but the Lord's light will be seen upon you. So this is a time to shine. Right. I mean, Esther 4:14 says, you're in the kingdom for such a time as this. There's one thing that excites me more than that verse. The kingdom is in me, and the kingdom's in you for such a time as this. Yeah. And this is the best time in human history to be alive. And think about that. God could have chosen anybody. He could have chosen anybody to live in the most crucial time in human history, and he chose us. Yeah. I said to him, what are you thinking? That's what I said. And so then I thought, well, maybe he's got confidence in us. And so then he spoke to me. Now, the question was, why have you chosen us to live in the most crucial time in human history? Here's what he said. He said, yes, I finally found me a people weak enough to work in. Now, not weak in morals, not weak in ethics, not weak in character, weak in our own ability. We finally embraced John 15:5. Without me, you can't do anything. Right. But with him, through him, by him, we can do all things. Right. And a verse, have you ever had a verse just go off in you and it just rose up and just consumed you? Philippians 2:13 did that. It says, why, it is God that works in you, both to will and to do of his good pleasure. When I read that little phrase, good pleasure, the creature, Bobby, can bring the Creator God good pleasure. So I started searching the Bible, Dave, searching here and searching there, trying to find out what could I do that would bring him good pleasure. I found it, Luke 12:32. Jesus is talking. He says, oh, shuddering, shivering little flock, don't be so timid. It's your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The Bible tells us the eyes of God are searching to and fro throughout the whole earth. And I said, God, what are you looking for? He said in 2 Chronicles 16:9, I'm looking for a people who have no agenda but mine. He says, when I find them, I will fully support all they put their hands to do. Remember, it says the eyes of the Lord rove to and fro throughout the whole earth. And I'm telling you, he's looking right here. He's looking for people that go, here we are, God, use us. In Psalms 110 verse 3, it said, in the day of his power now, his troops, you and I, shall volunteer freely. So what a time to be alive. Now, you had to watch out. When I do these programs, if you lose your breath, you lose your turn. You know what I mean? So we get...